One other thing that's hard to quantify is, Larry, you talk about making those existing employees whole, but the ability to hang on to the talent if they're not happy working there based on the management at the company, if they're not happy, and actually luring other talented people from other technology companies. If there's one industry where the jobs are more plentiful than any other, it is in technology. And there are a lot of unhappy people within the walls of Facebook.
Hey, Larry, Lindsay Bell here. I just wanted to ask about the top line. You know, they've got margin pressure. You're saying they should buy back shares. Obviously, the morale is a problem. Regulations coming down the pike. What are you expecting to see with the top line? Ad sales is a huge component of that, and they are one of the largest advertisers out there. Are they going to, like, is Amazon going to steal revenue from them? Is it going to be Google? What's going to happen?
Well, you still have the very, very compelling fact that digital advertising is gaining monstrous amounts of share from conventional advertising, and that Facebook and Google have a 75% share of digital advertising. Now, clearly, Amazon is going to get some of those ad dollars, and it's a marvelous platform for advertising. But I think Facebook and Google are still going to be net share gainers. And you're looking at Facebook as a global proposition. And in a large number of the countries, I don't think the users particularly care about this. And the advertisers, I think they may care about it, but they're going to inevitably follow the users. So my guess is, my guess is 3 years from now, the cash flow growth in this company is going to be in the neighborhood of 12 to 15%. If that's the case, I think the stock's going to be a lot higher because financially it's going to look like Coca-Cola or Procter & Gamble. It's not going to look
Larry,
like...
a quick question. What are the odds of privacy regulation coming here that we've seen in Europe, and what would that do to their model? Isn't that the
well, that's the issue, exactly. Yeah.
I think they can live with the privacy regulation. We're going to see what it's done in Europe, but I think that's a lot less problematic than the fact that the margins, I think, are going to be really hurt by having to make the employees whole and making the platform trustworthy.
So you don't see a new regulatory backdrop as having to change the business model in any way?
Oh, I think there's going to be margin pressure, Maria, but you're dealing with a company that has margins just almost confiscatory. They're, you know, well over 30%.
So you want to buy this stock?
This is not
it's
the
down
supermarket
25% year to date. It sounds like you're looking mostly at valuation and the quality of this company, and you're saying, look, the stock is now attractive where it's trading.
Yeah, there's only one caveat, Maria. I would like somebody to buy it first. I think I don't know what the price of the right price of Facebook should be. The market's got to determine that, and this is a stock that I think is best bought by investors, and I like to consider myself an investor, on the way up, rather than trying to be a hero on the way down, because there's no such thing really in a stock as an intellectual bottom. I think there's only an emotional bottom, and this thing is in the emotional category right now, and it's very hard to make tremendous sense out of numbers when emotions are this high. Right. But this is the kind of behavior. This is the kind of behavior, Maria, that 6 months from now, if we're talking, we're going to say, "Oh my gosh, this was a tremendous opportunity." But I just like to be a little more cautious and let someone jump in the water before I do.
So what are we talking about? A $375 billion market cap right here? I mean, who would buy it?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm not talking about a corporate event. There's not going to be a corporate event or a takeover.
Because you said something you would like to see somebody buy it.
No, I think it's investors. I'm talking about other investors. I mean, it'd be nice if somebody from BlackRock got in here and said, "Oh, I think we can we can live with it." And I mean, you've heard Larry Fink is at the high end of the ethics category. If he thinks it's good enough for his firm, probably it's good enough for me. But I'd just like to see the stock start to go up. I think the emotion here is just too much to get in the way of at this point. And you know, the other thing, Maria, you're going to see
120 billion in market value just as the stock slided last week.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, well, you're going to start
jump.
seeing margin calls.
All right, we'll be watching. Thank you for joining us, Larry.
Okay.
Great insights, as always, from you. We appreciate it.